my dad bought me the Ozzy Osbourne No More Tears album. It's that record, No More Tears, My Mom Coming Home. And it was like the first rock record that really I was like, holy shit, what is this? Like, I was in fourth grade when I got it.
Hey, it's Steven from PopCulture.com, and I am here today with Mr. Kolby Cooper. How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Up and coming, I guess. I feel like up and coming country star isn't really fair because you've been doing this for a long time.
Man, I'm down to be up and coming as long as people want to call me it, whatever, man. I'm still since I was 18, so it's been 3.5, 4 years, but at the same time I still feel good about it.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got a new EP out. Tell us a little bit about that and kind of give us some backstory on it.
Well, we dropped a new single. We dropped the EP back in August.
Oh, my apologies. The new single was Breaking News, and the EP was Boy from Anderson County. Yes.
Yeah. So you were talking about Breaking News or the EP? My fault.
Tell you what, let's talk about Breaking News because it's most recent.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, okay. Let's start there. That's my fault. That's all on me, dude.
No, you're good, man. So Breaking News is it's obviously our new release, and we're all really excited about it. It's been our biggest release ever so far. So that's always really, really exciting. But it's also a move in even heavier direction and kind of leans more into the guitar sound that we've always really loved and really tried to I guess include into our music. And it's awesome to see, I guess, people react so well to something that's a little different than everything.
Sure. And can you tell me a little bit of backstory on the song? I mean, it's a very it's a terrific song, and I know that when people listen to it, they're getting the story, but I'd like to hear from you a little bit of the backstory on it.
Yeah, man. So it's like it's not necessarily about anything from me. I've been married 18, have 2 little girls. But I have a bunch of friends and a bunch of family members, and I think a lot of people do that go through these relationships with certain people that that they're probably not meant to be with, but it's kind of that thing where you just kind of got to let them make these mistakes. But then you see them get out of these relationships and get into these new relationships that seem great, and then that person comes back and hey, what the man? We had something good, and it's like, well, don't you remember that you broke up with me and told me that I wasn't good enough for you and blah blah blah. But then you see someone that makes me happy and see that I'm making someone else happy, and then you're like, what the hell? This isn't right. And it's just I kind of wanted to really hit on that and talk about how it's not okay to be that kind of person, and B, that it is okay to just never talk to that person again, and to leave them alone. That you don't need that kind of toxicity in your life, and that kind of just that kind of person in your life, really. And I've seen a lot of friends and family members go through that, and I just kind of wanted to show that to people.
Sure. I think that's a highly relatable situation. I'm sure that anybody watching this right now is got a face or a name in their head, and yeah, it happens. It's pretty common. So Breaking News, terrific new single, awesome song, and it's taken over the airwaves, man. And as I mentioned sooner, before I threw us all off, last year you put out a new EP, Boy from Anderson County.
Yeah.
Again, fantastic collection of songs. Would love to know a little bit more about that so that our watchers and readers can check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was our first project with Broken Mode to release. And it was just, we took 6 songs that we really loved. And we didn't really know what it was going to be. We were just like, let's throw this EP out and see what happens. And we picked, like I said, 6 songs of the however many we had to pick from, and made this EP. Kind of tried to, I guess, to continue telling the story from the last. So the last album was called Good Ones Never Last. It was our first full length, and it was kind of a little sadder. It was more based around my dad passing away and stuff. So this one, I wanted it to be more about like where I am at this point in my life. Like I'm married with 2 little girls that I love and a wife that I love. That's kind of what I wanted to get across in The Boy from Anderson County, because that's who I am now. I'm happy and that's it.
And speaking of that, I mean, you're a family man, and you're about to go out on the road. Is that correct? You're hitting some tour dates with Co Wetzel?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been we tour all the time. We're about to hit it hard. A lot of big opening shows with Co, and it's going to be a crazy summer.
Is it do you find that it's like harder, the touring life, as like as you become more and more of a family man?
Yeah, absolutely. 1,000%. So, when I guess when I first started touring full time and professionally as my job, my first daughter was just born. Like literally, I think our official start date of this is what we're going to do, this is full time every weekend at least, was July 20th of 2018. And July 20th, 2019. And then, daughter was born a few days later. So it's this funny thing where like, at first it was like, okay, I have one little baby, new family at the house. Like and I'm home a lot more right now. So it's easy, but progressively, obviously, as she's gotten older, and then we brought another baby into it, and I've gotten so much more busy. Like I thought I was busy then, but now it's like, friend earlier, like I was gone from February 1st of this year until the last day of March, pretty much every day except for 3 days. It's really tough, but they understand it's just the life, and which I try to get to be home as much as I can and all that. And it's definitely a lot harder some days than it is the other days, but we make it work, man.
I can understand that. Listen, coming from a father of 3, let me tell you, I'm not wishing this on you necessarily, but I will tell you, going from 2 to 3, way easier, way smoother than going from 1 to 2.
That's really good, man. We're gonna start trying for number 3 at some point this year, and I've had some friends tell me that, and it makes me feel a lot better, because that transition from 1 to 2, I mean, it's a lot. It's so much more, because it's like, oh, here's 1, I can't handle it right now. You do it, okay? Well, now it's like I have 2 of them. I don't know what to do with them. It's crazy, but I'm really excited. It's the greatest thing in the world,
It is, man. It's awesome. Dad life is fantastic. Well, listen, I something I'd really like to do is jump back a little bit and ask you kind of about, growing up and your influences, your heroes. Like, who did you look up to, and who laid the groundwork for Kolby Cooper, the country star?
Yeah. So, one of my biggest inspirations still to this day was my dad, and he didn't sing or play music or anything, but he had a passion for music. He loved it, and it was a thing that we really bonded over. And I remember as a kid, he drove a cow truck, so I'd ride with him in the cow truck, and we'd my all-time favorite is Waylon Jennings. I got the tattoo right here. And as a kid, I remember we would listen to, he had this CD folder, obviously, of just 1,000 CDs, and had every Waylon CD, and we would just, listen to Waylon and Chris Ledoux and some Texas guys like Randy Rogers and Charlie Robinson and Cross Canadian Ragweed, just for hours on the road, and that was just it. We would just sit there and talk a little bit, and then just listen to music that we loved, and that's kind of how we bonded. So I think a lot of that, and then I got a little bit older and got into my dad bought me the Ozzy Osbourne No More Tears album. Called it's that record, No More Tears, Mom, I'm Coming Home. And it was like the first rock record that really I was like, holy shit, what is this? Like, I was in 4th grade when I got it, and I remember I had the little like Walkman CD player, whatever, and just would have it in the classroom. We had free time and listen to Ozzy. It's a little weird 4th grader listening to No More Tears. It's crazy, dude.
That is really funny. I tell you, dude, I got a chance to talk to Dan Weiss, who was one of the creators of the Game of Thrones show, and he wrote this movie for Netflix called Metal Lords. It's up there now, and in the movie there's like the song War Pigs by Black Sabbath takes like a very central point, and he kind of talked about how you know, Ozzy and Black Sabbath, you know, really like very much, you know, that's how he felt about them. He made that song sort of a central figure in the movie because he felt like that's what they were for metal music.
That's so awesome, man. That's so awesome.
It's really neat. So you, when you started sort of shaping your sound, did you have any kind of specific idea in mind? Did you just pick up a guitar and just start playing and one day you're this, or did you have this kind of like, here's what I want to do. Here's the kind of the niche I want to carve.
I think that at first it was, I mean, country has always been my first love, my first influence and everything. But so as a kid, when I started playing guitar, it was still that. But then the more that I've gotten older and older, I don't necessarily try to sound like anything. What my goal is to pick up the guitar and sound like Kolby Cooper, no matter what that is. And that's what I do, man. I don't ever go in and try to really chase anything. Anytime I go right, I always go in and I'm like, hey, dude, let's do some weird shit. Like I wanted to hear some that I haven't heard, and I want to, you know, and if it feels wrong, it's wrong. Whatever, that's easy to figure out. But like, you never know what's going to feel right, and you never know what's going to really inspire you and how it's. But with that being said, I guess I never really chased anything. I always just sit down and when I pick up a guitar, try to let it come out however it comes out, and that could come out whether it comes out as a rock song or a country song or a hip hop song. Like this is it's nothing that I'm chasing. It's just how I feel at the moment, and it's coming out as Kolby Cooper, so it's coming out authentic, you know. Absolutely,
yeah, man. I think a Kolby Cooper hip hop song. I think we need to get you and I was like Breland or one of those guys linked up to one of those songs. I you know, it's funny. It was one of my questions was going to be like, when you go in, do you sit down with the intent to write something specific? Do you ever sit down and say, this is what I'm going to write about? Or do you just let it happen naturally? And I suppose you've answered that.
And yeah, I can hit on a little bit more. It's kind of, you know, every once in a while I'll have an idea and I'm like, we've got to write this song about this. And you know, I'll have, you know, sometimes I'll have the hook and I'm like, this is what it's about. Let's write it. So it's like, but then sometimes, yeah, it's nice just to kind of sit down and vibe. And that's a lot of it. You sit down and vibe a little bit and then sometimes it just falls out, you know?
Right on. Are you, are you at a point where you're kind of focused on like what your next project is going to be? Are you sort of gearing up for doing, you know, LP number 2, or are you kind of waiting to see what takes shape?
We're in the middle of gearing up for LP2, man. It's shaping up real nice. I don't know what all I can really, I guess, say about it and can't say, but it's gonna be big. And you know, hopefully it should be probably sooner rather than a long time from now, but we'll see. I don't know.
Fair enough. Can you say anything about, you know, the tour? Like, will fans be hearing some new songs beyond Breaking News? Yeah.
So we play Breaking News now, but we play another song on our set called Storm's Coming. That's it's out on Amazon right now, but it's still, you know, it's still not out everywhere. And it's just kind of it's one of my favorites. But I think we'll probably start as we get closer, kind of start throwing in a couple new songs and seeing how they go. You know,
right on. Well, Kolby, man, I want to thank you so much for taking time to chat today. It's been awesome. People can hear Breaking News everywhere. It's all over the place. It's on Amazon and Apple and Spotify and YouTube, and they catch you. And what'd you say?
Everywhere.
And you're going on tour with Co-Wetzel, and we can find the tour dates for that probably at your website, on Instagram, right? All those places. Hey man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Dude, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.